Namaste. Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana, and today I'm here to look at tarot and oracle decks. And we're going to look at combos of decks, kind of going through the themes of the last couple of weeks, the last couple of Fridays, where I was talking about chakra associations and using the tarot and oracle decks as a way of self-inquiry into our own personal healing journeys. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. Welcome to all of you in the background who don't jump into the chat. Know that I appreciate you just as much as everyone else that participates in the conversation. And those of you that are in the chat, I really look forward to hearing other decks mentioned as well, combinations or questions. Especially the questions are especially helpful afterwards when you can put it in the comments below, and then I can go back and refer to that. So this is the third and final kind of this series. This was prompted by one of your requests, and I will be offering a course in January. And I've opened up 2 different sections of this course. So if you like the content of what I'm talking about and you'd like to learn more about tarot and the chakras, and not only tarot and the chakras, but also about some of the yogic associations. And one of the things I haven't touched on in these 3 videos are the well, maybe lightly, are the links between the chakras and how we can start to heal if we understand the associations. And if we stimulate one, then we are more likely to stimulate another one. So this is kind of what we're going to be talking about in January. There's a time that is more suitable, I think, for UK and Western European countries. And then there's a time that probably works better for those of us in North America. So hopefully that you can find a time that works for you. So welcome. Hi, Lydianne. Hi there, Candy. Namaste. So lovely to have you here. And Dee, Donna, welcome, welcome. Hot cup of organic Assam in hand. Beautiful. I do have a power tool. I have a window wide open and a neighbor is cutting wood on a, what do you call it? A table saw, it sounds like. So I may pop up and shut my window. We'll just see how this goes. What I also wanted to do today was pull out decks that I haven't had out in the last couple of weeks. I don't think there's any point in repeating decks that I've already shared with you. So I'm endeavoring to do that today. And I know there's a couple of repeats that are coming up, but I'm also in the process of shifting my racks for the fall, and I don't tend to put away all my decks, and not every single deck I use with the season, but there's certain decks that really feel like they match the energy of the season to me. And I've got my trimmed copy of the Llewellyn, and that's where we're going to start today. So the Llewellyn Tarot, while I am not, I didn't grow up in the UK, I have, through ancestry, I have connections to Wales. This comes not through my family of birth, but through my adoptive family. And I also, so this is an interesting topic. Sorry, I have hair in my eye and hopefully I'll be able to find it and get it out. Amy. So Amy, who is Mystic Rose Tarot. She's in California at this time. So Amy and I are going to do a video and we're going to talk about healing and our journeys with being adopted and our experiences with that. And so I just mentioned that. So that's something that's coming up. And if you're interested, just keep an eye out for that. It's going to be on Amy's channel. So this, I also have, through my blood, through my mother's blood, connections to Ireland. And there are, there's lots of UK connections. And I don't know if this comes through, where this comes through, but I have such a strong affinity. I love the Arthurian tales, the Mabinogion, I probably didn't say that correctly. That's one book name I really need to say over and over and over. These legends and tales I love. And I have dreams of multiple trips to the UK where I get to go back to these secret, sacred places all over the world. I want to meet up with Carolyn Hillier of the Weaver's Oracle, go to many, many sacred sites, visit lots of you lovely tarot tubers who are in the UK. I don't know. Anyway, so why am I saying all this? Root chakra decks connect us. They make us feel at home. I want a root chakra deck that makes me feel safe. It makes me feel comfortable. It makes me take a big sigh, a big exhale breath, and it settles me in a way that I know I have arrived. And I also know that I belong. So the Llewellyn Tarot has always done that for me. And I have another copy as well too. So I repurchased it after I trimmed it because I wanted to sometimes work with the titles that are on the major arcana. So on the major arcana, you get the names of the legends and the figures who are in the cards as well too. Sometimes it's a place location. So I have another version, but I'm showing you here today the trimmed copy of the Llewellyn. And then also with the root chakra, there is a sense of earthiness. And I definitely feel the earthiness in the Llewellyn Tarot. It's all primarily outdoors. And so there's a deep connection to the earth element. And so what I'm pairing with it today is Soul Flower. And I've actually never paired these two decks together. And there's something really lovely about the energy of these two colors. And so I'm just going to cut it and we're going to do some random, just going to do a couple of random combos here. I'll switch the camera in just 1 second so that you can see now the Soul Flower looks gigantic in contrast to the Llewellyn. Once you trim it, it's a little tiny, tiny deck. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Okay, so let's do this. And I'm going to just do one combo for each chakra. I'm not going to be on for hours and hours today, and I'll be back on later tonight. I'm going to do a side-by-side of my new soul tree deck along with my other soul tree deck. And I also note that on Allison Williams Yee's website, there is yet a third soul tree deck. So that's kind of interesting. I want to go back and say hello to those I didn't greet. Thank you, Candy. You look so beautiful. I'm sure you look so beautiful too. I really like I call it my peacock wrap. I love it. Okay. So hopefully Dee can hear. You're not hearing anything. You are not hearing anything. Is this true? Audio. Okay, oh, it's the power tool. Okay, you're talking about the power tool. Oh, thank goodness. I thought for a sudden I was rambling away and you didn't hear me at all. Okay, good, good, good. I'm glad it's just the power tool you can't hear. Yay. That would be so amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait to meet you in person. I would just be so honored. So honored. And your daughter just moved to the UK? I'm not sure which comment you're talking about, but please know that I feel a great amount of affection for you, and I would love to spend some time. And there's many of you in the UK. I would love, love, love to visit. So I'll make sure that when that trip happens, I will announce my arrival. Okay, where are we at here? Did I say hello to everyone? I don't ramble. Okay, good. I am hardwired, so everything should be good today. Okay, so Llewellyn Tarot. Llewellyn, now I don't have a lot of information about Anna, or Anne, is it Anne Marie or Anna Maria, her artwork. Oh, then now look at this. Look at the purple of the pansies with the purple in the sky. This is really kind of gorgeous. I love watercolor decks, and I never really considered the Llewellyn Tarot a watercolor deck, but when you actually sit and look at the artwork, it's really quite mesmerizing, the way that the background on some of these pictures is painted. Now, the other reason, of course, that I have this deck out for the fall is that it has a lot of gold in it, and it's just such a beautiful harvest deck. The harvest colors are absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. And you know, with the soul flower cards, it's not, and I'm just looking at this particular card here, it's not just a summer flower kind of energy. It does have a range. Let's get some other colors besides gold. There's a lot of gold in the Llewellyn. One of my favorite hues in the Llewellyn Tarot are the blues and the purples. And there's some gorgeous greens in the Llewellyn as well too, in some of the robes and the backgrounds. Now, what I want to say is I don't have out my large copy of the Llewellyn with the borders, but because the soul flower deck is so very large, it looks kind of weird with this tiny little deck. If I were doing a reading, I think with someone, I would take out the large cards. The other thing I love about the trimmed copy of my deck is that you can place so many cards on the table. And I don't usually do a Lenormand style huge reading. So one of my favorite really big spreads is the there's no pink, I don't think, in the Llewellyn. No pink at all. But the purples just look really pretty with the blues. What I was saying is it's called a Romani Spread. I have my own variation of the Romani Spread, and this is that bleeding heart card just makes me feel so at home. Okay, so when you're choosing healing for, I'm going to go back. So Romani Spread is a 3x7 spread, and if you have trimmed a little deck, it works really well with that. That's all I'm saying. So the Llewellyn works really well as a trimmed chamonette, which we're going to look at today. Little tiny decks work great when you have 21 cards on the table. So when you're choosing a root chakra deck, I would go for comfort. And I would leave the issues, the big, dark, shadowy stuff until the second chakra. But here I want to feel like I'm at home. So that is, that bleeding heart just makes me feel really happy. Okay, echinacea. Okay, so moving on to Swadhisthana chakra. So Swadhisthana chakra has so many different associations. And over the last couple of weeks, I've tried to share with you the range. So this is everything from goddess energy, healing of the mother wound, shadow work. There's just so many different ways to go into the, where's my combo? So many different ways to go into second chakra work. And there is this lovely indie deck, which I'm going to shuffle, which most of you have, would call This Might Hurt. Now, the title of this particular deck is just perfect for second chakra work. Because when we are in the waters of the second chakra, we are at a place where we are dealing with pleasure and pain. Pleasure and pain. And oh my goodness, Hush Tarot at SWADHISTHANA. Hush Tarot at SWADHISTHANA. I am going to reserve I'm going to say no comment. I really need to look at it. I haven't had it in hand for a little while, and I have so many. I would like to do a deep dive on that deck and do several videos on it too. I know I used it for 6 or 7 weeks when I was doing my gratitude challenge, but I still feel, even though I've used it from time to time, I still don't feel a deep affinity to that deck. So I'm just going to say no comment, and it's either yes, okay, I get it. SWADHISTHANA, shadow work, things we don't want to look at, challenging karmas and so forth. Okay. So what I was saying is we are looking at pleasure and pain. And the right of the second chakra is the right to live in joy. The right to live in joy. So a lot of the shadowy issues are ones that keep us out of joy. And they explore the waters of that. But like I said, there's lots and lots of different issues that we can explore with SWADHISTHANA. The first, second, and third chakras are just loaded with stuff. And so there's many, many different ways that we can go. Now, the deck that I was going to pair with this is, I have to look at my notes because I just don't remember. Oh, yes. Okay. I recently acquired the botanical deck. Where is it? Where are you? Here you are. So Jessica Bott of Amethyst Creations, Amethyst Oracle, also did the Idiosyncratic Deck. This is a huge deck that includes tarot and oracle. I forget how many cards it is. It's something like 130 cards. So what I've done is I've separated out the oracle cards. So this is only the oracle portion of this deck. And what you get in the oracle portion is a real range of, I'm going to say, pleasure and pain. It is, we'll just see. We'll just see what comes up here. But I feel like it is, this is, so one of the suits is mushrooms. And because we're looking at, I believe, vector art in both of these, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The art style works really well together. There's some very blatant messages in Jessica's work that I find comfortingly honest. So yeah, so this is And in the guidebook, if you want, I could read for you a couple of them. I shared this a couple of weeks ago, I think. Did I do a walkthrough of this deck? I'm not sure if I did. But I think there's something about the art style that works. And so I want to look at let's just have a look at this. So we have echinacea in the center of these 2 pages. Echinacea in the center of the 2 pages. Okay, I'm just gonna, well, I know what echinacea is good for. You know what? There's a couple of things here that are striking me. One is the pink. I think it's kind of funny that we have pink, and I'm thinking of princesses in the pages, and we have pink here. There's also a lightness and an optimism that matches these pages that feels really good here. And so if we were dealing with a SWADHISTHANA chakra image and we were dealing with childhood stuff, you know, childhood stuff coming to the surface, trying to release childhood trauma or something like that, this feels really healing. And another reason that the deck in the center feels suited to second chakra is sometimes we actually need medicine. We need some kind of medicine we need a tool to move through that. Hi, Usha, welcome. Barbara Walker deck is very powerful for me and calls to my sacral chakra. I will look that one up. I'm not sure what you're referring to. And thank you for sharing other messages as well too. Okay. So yeah, so this feels like I'm going to deepen my exploration with this combination. I pull out this might hurt quite often because it is such an accessible deck. It speaks to a lot of people, a lot of different ages. It's very diverse. And the way that I do readings, I love to dive into medicine, healing energy. And so I'm feeling that this combination is going to reveal a lot of, there's a lot of potential here. I see a lot of potential for this combination as a second chakra deck. Okay. I'm just staring at it. I'm staring at it as I'm kind of really, really liking this. Yeah. All right. So this is a great place to deal with addictions. And there's something that I'm finding very interesting here with these mushrooms and dealing with addiction and second chakra. So this feels, and like I said, if you want to dive deeper into this, I'm gonna take this to a whole other level in January. So please feel free to hop into this course in January. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the third chakra. I have been sitting, I've been contemplating doing a Thoth. I have so many contemplations, so many decks that I want to be. I really enjoy diving deep into decks and taking my time. And even if it's decks that I have worked with in the past, it feels like you can never stop learning about some of these really, really challenging decks. It's kind of, what can you say? It's crazy. Anyway, so I've been watching. I never watched Downton Abbey when it came out, and I've been watching that on Netflix. and I've been trimming decks. And so I decided this is the way I'm going to trim my large Thoth deck. And so this is the deck I'm going to use for the solar plexus chakra. I feel like this deck is, it irritates me. It irritates me. It stimulates my fire. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know that fire is it's probably the most challenging element for me. It's an element that physically, it took a long time for me to find a healthy relationship with. Everything, from digestion as well too. And there's something about the Thoth for me that is really in alignment with Manipura Chakra. Manipura Chakra. Now, Manipura Chakra is another one that has a lot of different associations. I'm just showing you this trimmed and untrimmed. We're going to do a combo here in a minute, but I'm just looking at it in the camera, trimmed and untrimmed. And I'm thinking that I'm just trying to figure out which cards I want to use with this combination. Anyway, maybe I'll let you decide in a minute. Okay. Where was I? So Manipura Chakra. Manipura Chakra, we are moving from, as the chakra awakens and the chakra moves into a higher frequency, it's moving into trust of the divine. So we move from a very controlling, egoic way of life to a higher frequency where we feel very curious about spirit, and we understand, we have a new understanding. So this is that part of the physical body at the diaphragm. At the diaphragm, where we quite literally pass through this solid wall. And in order to transform and to move into the heart chakra, we have to go through this very fiery place. A lot of people never ascend past Manipura Chakra. A lot of people die in their patterns of Manipura Chakra. It's a really sticky place. It's a really, really sticky place. And so I think to have a challenging deck here, challenging to you, so this one is challenging to me, is really good, And the oracle that I'm pairing with it might seem really weird, is Sacred Mysteries. Sacred Mysteries, the Chakra Oracle deck. And so I'm going to look at it both with the trimmed and the untrimmed version. Now, why in the world would I pair Sacred Mysteries with the Thoth? Isn't that a weird combination? Maybe. But like I was saying, there's this aspect of Manipura that wants us to move towards spirit. I'm just going to cut this and then I'll plop it in the center. Okay. So this particular combination, I'm going to say, is higher frequency work of Manipura Chakra. There's other combinations that I would use for different issues with Manipura, but this is this is on the higher frequency of Manipura Chakra. Okay. Dee says she bailed on Thoth, but might go back. Oh, you're talking about your wish list. Okay. I really, really enjoy, that's kind of cool, isn't it? The Empress with this acceptance card. That's kind of cool. Actually, I'm not gonna, there's not much room on the table the way I've got the camera set up, but this is kind of working for me. Okay. So on the left, we have the Princess of Cups, and in the center, we have reality. And so the Princess of Cups is prone to dreaming, right? The Princess of Cups is the kid who, doesn't want to be in school and doesn't want to have their feet on the ground. However, sometimes this is the kind of child that we need to nourish. We need to nourish and let them know their perception is very much correct. It's just very challenging in this dimension to be that way. There's something here. I really like this combination, this reading, this Six of Cups with the Princess of Cups and the reality card in the center. That is, who is this? It looks like Saraswati. So I think I'm going to finish trimming my thoth and do some readings with this. This is, I like this a lot. Wow. Okay, let's look at one more. So this is preservation. So preservation is Vishnu. Oh my goodness. Whoa, look at that. So Prince of Cups, Vishnu, preservation, and the Wheel of Fortune. And so here we have some resistance to change. That's very cool. That's really cool. Okay. Oh, I'm excited. This is going to be good. All right. Like I said, this week I really wanted to challenge myself to pull out some decks that I have not been working with and to explore something a little different. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. My task is to finish trimming my thoth and then do some readings. Start reading with it. Maybe it'll be my new personal reading deck for a little while. All right, so let's go to ANAHATA Chakra. So ANAHATA. This particular chakra, for me, when I'm working with ANAHATA, ANAHATA is about that unconditional love for yourself. So the idea with ANAHATA Chakra decks is you need to feel loved. You need to feel loved and you need to feel inspired to love yourself. Love yourself exactly as you are, to want to take care of yourself and to be, it's a deeply spiritual chakra. And if there is a deck that you explored for a gratitude challenge, that might be a deck that works for you. I have pulled out, I'm pulling out textured tarot for this one today. And one of the cards I love in this deck, I'm sure you all know this one, is the Queen of Earth. The Queen of Earth. And she sits in her garden. Actually, there's a few cards here that I can share with you that have that sense of self-care. So the Eight of Pentacles is one that feels like it's very, very nourishing. This Six of Cups takes me back to my childhood. And still, for me, that's self-care. Hi, Swan. The self-care and the love of actually going swimming and giving myself the gift of going down to the ocean feels really, it's really beautiful. I love the gentleness of this card. There's so much love in that Four of Swords. You know, the permission to take a nap. It's really I think this is an odd card, but it makes me, it's kind of like the awkwardness of how I dance. And, you know, I can dance in the kitchen and the children say something like, "Oh, mother." They're not so bad now. They kind of let me do what I want to do. But ANAHATA Chakra it's about that self-love. This Death card to me really has so much beauty to it. I love that. The Realization card, the Page of Pentacles. And while there's a bit of a materialistic lean to that Nine of Pentacles, you know, when I think about the particular jewelry that's rolling out of the box, it comes from grandma. It comes from mom. It's been shared through the generations. It's not so much about that. But the card that I'm looking for, I can't seem to find. Takes me back to I did some of this when I lived in Japan. Love this one. Love that card. It's the pottery thing. Oh, and that one as well too. Yeah, this is definitely a deck of self-care for me. Self-care by taking time to make art and make wreaths and decorate the house. There's so much love. So this is the card that I was talking about. This one. This is a perfect ANAHATA Chakra card for me. It's a card of love. Love to love self. It's the Queen of Pentacles. If you don't have it, it's just, I don't know. There's something about this. Yeah. So this is and there's also a lot of roses and flowers on this in this deck. So that's why I decided today this was going to be my ANAHATA Chakra deck. Okay. And then thanks to you in the chat, I now have the Illuminated Earth in my collection. And I feel so much peace in this deck. This is a deck very much of peace and love. It's going to be one of my top oracle decks, probably forever and always. Oh, look at that. Disguise and the Tower. Okay. So if we're dealing with the heart space, this is really, really challenging. Right? It's about letting go of that robe or the mask. And that's not normally something that I would associate with heart chakra. But there's something about the love of self, the love of self, the honest love of self that is being disguised. Okay. There's my card. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Okay. Oh, so we're going to pull heavy cards, are we? Devil and the element of air. Now, devil is the element of earth. That's the element of air. And the Queen of Wands. Okay, we have 3 different elements going on here. Wow. And I know this is random stuff, but it's really nice when there's synchronicities. There's a pink color that's coming through here for me. The pink in the roses, the pink in the diamond around the sphere in the center card, and I see pink in the figures, on the mantelpiece. Let's look at another one. Resistance and 2 of Swords. Resistance and King of Pentacles. That goes together. That resistance card almost looks like a 2, doesn't it? And there's something going on here. And look at the shape of the swords and the shape of the resistance card. We have an X created here, and we have an X here. Wow. Hi, Andrew. Okay. We're getting all the heavy hitter cards. This one is relationship. 3 of Swords and relationship. Holy cow. Knight of Wands. Do you see the red? There's a red-orange thing that's going through here. Well, well, well. Wow. Look at that piece of carnelian above the King of Wands. That's really funny. Okay. So this is feeling very, very powerful. And to me, it's a very uncomfortable energy in the heart chakra. And I have a feeling this is definitely speaking to personal stuff. When you get your Tulku Oracle, can you see how it works with the Lonely Dreamer? Of course, of course. I'm happy to do that. I do have the Radon, the what's it called? Oh yes, Lonely Dreamer. Yes, Lonely Dreamer is the Radon deck. Yeah, I'm happy to do that when I get it. So, there's something about the Tildwick Tarot. So did I talk about the Tildwick in this series? The Tildwick Tarot, I feel kind of like a past life vibe. And I don't know how that sits with all of you, but there's something about the doors and the passages and the rooms. And I used to have a lot of dreams about going back to my parents' house and feeling a lot of regret for having to sell the house. I need to sort this out. It's very mixed up and down, up and down. So when I have some time to do some shadow work, and I am going to, I'm going to pull that out again. And yes, Illuminated Earth Oracle might look great with that. Okay, so we're going to Vishuddhi Chakra. So Vishuddhi or Vishuddha, Vishuddhi Chakra. Okay. Vishuddhi Chakra is the portal to the 5th dimension. The portal to the 5th dimension. What does that mean? The sacral chakra, the Swadhisthana chakra, is the portal to the third dimension. So what is in clearing and balancing that chakra, we find home in the third dimension. In purifying and clearing the fifth chakra, we find comfort, we find a new frequency and vibration in the fifth dimension. And so in clearing and find the throat, finding our voice, learning to use the medicine of the voice, it's really, really powerful. Yeah. So this is a getting to be a very high frequency chakra. I was having another look at the true heart. I haven't worked with this a lot. Maybe because I just didn't take time to do it. But there's something quite spiritual about this deck. It's not just another RWS clone. And it felt like it had some messages for me. It wanted me to know its voice. Yeah, so I chose this one today for VISHUDDHI Chakra. VISHUDDHI Chakra. And then I was, I have an embarrassingly large double pile of Blue Angel decks, Blue Angel Oracle decks. A lot. I have a lot of them. And I don't use many of them. My Hay House pile, I have started to, over time give some of them away. But my Blue Angel stack is getting out of control. So this is from my Blue Angel pile. This is the Earth Warriors deck. And to me, this deck is like crystals. I see some kind of crystal medicine in this deck. And the voice, there is a voice to the spirit in these cards. And some of these, Pachamama. Okay, so Pachamama is an energy that I have worked with. So why throat chakra? Why VISHUDDHI Chakra? VISHUDDHI Chakra is, we want to clear VISHUDDHI Chakra. So this is it's like a clear set. Oh my goodness. Don't know why my phone was not turned off. Sorry. The cards are ringing. VISHUDDHI Chakra is, I want it to be crystal clear. And I feel this crystal energy with this particular deck. And it looks really, really pretty with this one as well, too. So we have Prince of Deck. Oh, this is gorgeous. Prince of Discs with Pachamama. That's so gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, so we have the King and the Prince of Discs with Pachamama. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, okay. That's a big surprise. Okay. I didn't turn off my phone because if I do that, I know I'm going to bump something else on it. So here we have White Buffalo Woman with the King of Swords. And look how they're both kind of standing in their truth. And the Sun. I'm just going to blast through I'm just going to turn over a few of these so we can get 10 of Swords. Mama Kia. Okay, so Mama Kia is the moon energy. And so we have this link here. That's very cool. We have this this full moon in the background and this very ethereal kind of Ten of Swords energy with the energy of Mama Kia. Ooh, okay. With that childhood card. Okay, let's... Five of Discs. I need to look in the camera to see this name. It's not a familiar name. I want to look this up, what this is. So we have Five of Discs and Two of Wands. This is an interesting combination. So 22. 22. Is this an Alana Fairchild? Yes. Alana Fairchild guidebooks. Don't open Alana Fairchild. Honor of the Ancient King. Honor of the Ancient King. This is a Zulu reference. The oracle indicates awakening and the healing and strengthening of divine masculine energy within the soul to take the initiative and to lead with wisdom. Healing of masculinity is relevant at both physical and psychological levels. To love and make peace with the masculine allows it to become dynamic and expressive of integrity, purpose, justice, and protection. And if I were using this as a throat chakra, like building in the layer of throat chakra, this resonates with finding voice, but I see that Two of Wands is, this is interesting. This is so layered. And that eye in the center of the Five of Discs. Wow. The places we could go with this reading. Okay, I think this is going to, what I want to say, I feel like these two decks are really going to illuminate each other. Queen of Discs, Medicine Horse, and Queen of Cups. Okay. The Oracle deck in the middle is Earth Warriors. Okay. I'm going to, this is very interesting. These things that I've pulled out today are, I need to spend some more time with and explore, because I feel like I've kind of hit some personal stuff, which is good, right? I'm doing this for you and for me. Wow. Okay. So next we're going to go to Agnia Chakra. Agnia Chakra. Third eye chakra. So another beautiful deck that oh wow, look at that death card. I really like that death card. Another beautiful deck that I eventually will be diving much more deeply into is Carmen Sorrenti's Floricos Tarot. When I first got it, I trimmed it. I had it out a lot. I edged it in this beautiful rose gold. Gave it lots of love. but I feel like it's a deck that I still want to grow with. And I absolutely am fascinated with the whole notion of the dream caves, the dream temples. Agnia Chakra takes us into clear sight, right? Third eye chakra. And one of the ways into third eye chakra, we can go in through meditation. For sure, some of us in this dimension can be both in third and fifth eye at the same time. It's very rare that we can do that. Also, there's an aspect of clairvoyance that comes through dreams as well too. So I feel like the Phalarkos has messages for Agnia Chakra. So we have the moon and the 7 of wings, so the 7 of air. And this, because this is a dream temple, dream world kind of energy in the Phalarkos Tarot, I had this deck out last week. This is the Oracle of the Goddess by Guyane Sylvie Winter and Joe Dose. It's a small goddess deck. The artwork is very much in peace and harmony with the Phalarkos Tarot. And it almost feels to me like the goddesses will bring clarity to what is not clear in the tarot deck. And that's very interesting. We have a couple of comments here. I just want to go to Swan's comment. As I was holding back a download, interesting, as I was holding back a download that the maiden archetype was your 24-year-old doll. It probably she's very, very troubled. And that reading that we did on Wednesday night, Swan is referring, so Wednesday nights in my Facebook group, so in Sadhana's Integrative Healing Room on Facebook, I do a reading every week. And this week's reading was a little disturbing. The archetype is the maiden. And it was just full of swords and wands, and it just felt like chaos. And so I didn't mention that, Swan, but yes, for sure, I felt that as well too. And then Andrew's comment, unrelated. It's interesting. Dreams are very visual and feeling, but not so much auditory, taste, and smell. Yes, I agree with you very much, Andrew. And by the way, Well-Tempered Claire will be on my channel tomorrow. We're going to read together at 2 p.m. Pacific, and the thumbnail's already up. So here we have, wow, I'm feeling good about this combo here. One of the things I absolutely adore with the Phalarkos Tarot, that is the ace. That's an ace. Ooh, ace and a starting. Are the aces and the knights. They're one of my favorite things about this deck. Love, love, love. I purchased this Oracle deck on eBay, and there were many, many sellers that were selling it. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Okay, this is very, very, very nice. I almost feel like this would be a great combo to pull before bed and then just to settle into sleep. This is the 10. That's the 10 of fire and the sun. 10 of fire and the sun with Athene. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay. So these two decks are going to my bedroom. Now, after we're done here, we have one more chakra to do. They're going to go to my bedroom, and that's what's going to happen. Very excited about that. Okay. All right. And then we're going to go to the crown chakra. Those of you that work with me know that I don't particularly, I don't do yogic practices to work with the crown chakra. The crown chakra will eventually, over time, open and clear on its own through working with the other chakras. However, working with a tarot deck, so why use a tarot deck or an oracle deck to work with the crown? And this is just simply as an antenna. It's just an antenna. It's like it's a connection. It's to create a connection with spirit. That's all it is. So I want to choose the highest frequency decks that I can find. I want to sit, take a few breaths, ask my question, and open the portal, quite literally. This is my experience with doing Reiki. So with Reiki, all I need to do is just say that word. I also can bring in the frequency of other healers. Sometimes I bring in the energy of Jesus. Sometimes Usui Sensei. There's lots of different. For those of you that study Reiki, do you know the connection with Kuan Yin? So Kuan Yin is deeply connected to the emotional mental symbol. And so when you're dealing with emotional mental healing and Reiki, so working with the energy of Kuan Yin, so if I'm doing that, I'm going to bring in her. And I might use the word Avalokiteshvara instead, going back to more of the original intention of that deity. But yeah, so crown chakra deck is one that's going to tap in, give me a direct antenna. And these are the decks that I put on the thumbnail. Yeah. And I'm going to be back on later tonight showing this deck in its entirety. This is the Soul Trees Ascension deck. Allison Williams Yee now has 3 Soul Trees decks. When I ordered this one, I wasn't aware of the other one. I don't know why I didn't look that closely at her website. I love her work. And in the Soul Trees, so her original deck, there are chakra cards. So this is Soul Trees Ascension. And the card is Adapt. And I have a couple of copies of the Chemonet. One is trimmed, one is not. And I'm going to pull out the untrimmed version just because I like the borders. I like to have a borderless and a borderless and a bordered deck in combination. It looks good. And also the trimmed Chemonet is so tiny, tiny, tiny. Yeah. Okay. Oh, look at that. Ace of Swords with adapt. You can tell I like watercolor decks, right? And then Two of Swords. So there's Ace and Two of Swords. Let me put this down here. Get some shadows from the window. I wonder if I put this deck back in order. I might have put this deck back in order. Six of Cups. Dramatic shift. I love the court cards in this deck. I think I put one of them on the thumbnail. I did a few videos on the Chemonette way back. If this is not a deck that you are familiar with. It has a very ethereal quality to it. It's kind of its own thing. But the metaphors that weave through this, the stories that weave through this deck are very powerful. Very, very powerful. And it gives you a whole new perspective on some of the meanings of some of the cards. Yeah. Okay, so one more. This is the Queen of Staves. With Illusion. And the King of Discs. Fortitude, Temperance, and Discover. Pretty nice combination, hey? And there's an intensity to Soul Trees Ascension that is a little different than the original Soul Trees deck. And so I feel like the intensity of the Soul Trees Ascension really speaks to the Chemonette Tarot. Yeah. And I like the black bordered version. I have my other version here. So I'm going to pick that up and you can just see this is the trimmed copy. Actually, it works too. It's fine. It's good. Wow, look at the trees and the way, I love the way that Eden Gallanter, who's the artist of the Chemonette, draws the, it just works really well. Actually, I kind of like it without the borders. Cool. There you go. So there are some of my thoughts about about pairing Oracle and chakra decks. And just before I go, I just want to let you know that so Sunday I am starting a new Read With Me series. This is only a 4-week class. And for those of you that just want to practice getting better at creating questions and understanding how to deal with certain kinds of question is what this series is about. So that's 4 weeks. And then 4 weeks after that, I'm going to do Read With Me 2. Read With Me 2 is a class about tarot and timing and how I deal with timing questions. So we'll deal with the question of when in Read With Me series 1. We deal with what, who, why, where, that kind of stuff. And then we deal with when, 4 weeks of when in Read With Me Too. And you don't have to take one to take the other. They're not necessarily connected. Yeah. And if this chakra stuff is really speaking to you, I have put together a class and I'm going to be teaching tarot through the chakras. Really looking forward to that. I haven't actually ever done chakra sadhana, a chakra class with cards. This is the first time. And because I have now such a wonderful following of card people, I've decided to integrate these two things, which I love. And so I'm going to teach that over a period of 8 weeks in January before the next Tarot Foundations class starts. So it does not overlap with Tarot Foundations. So once the chakra class is done, and then Tarot Foundations 2022 will start. So yeah, it kind of worked out perfect timing. So thank you very much for being here. I hope to see some of you later when I come back on with both of Allison's decks, and it'll just be a side by side, and we can talk about how I work with soul trees and the potential for working with soul trees, and who knows where the conversation will go. So have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see some of you later. Namaste.